All right, so I got an email from a reader who wishes to remain anonymous, looking to lose weight, gain muscle, get stronger, and just generally tone up. He's a little overweight, but that's all right. He's a pro wrestler, small time, so being heavy, it's not a real big deal. But his doctor says he wants to lose some weight, so that's fine. He sent me his program, and what I saw is that it's generally a little too repetitive. So what we had is every day he's doing about 30 minutes of some type of cardio, some ab work, and the exact same back and arm workout. And it didn't seem like there was any progression in it at all. So it's like 6 days a week, he's hammering the exact same muscle groups over and over and over again and not getting anywhere with it. And so he's looking for some tips on how to improve that. And some things that I thought would help would be to actually lift. Because if you're not lifting, then you're not going to get stronger. Because that's where strength comes from, is working within a small rep range, like 1 to 6 repetitions, the most weight that you can lift. What would you have to say about that?
I mean, yeah, you're not gonna make any type of gains at all just by doing the same thing over and over again. It's just like a job. You go to your job, you start doing a job on roofing. You would think, oh, them guys would be pretty big and lean, but they do it constantly. They're constantly doing the hammer. They're constantly shuffling up the same thing, the same weight, the same everything. Your body's gonna adapt to that. We're made for adaptation.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to change it up at least every 4 to 6 weeks with a rest period in between, some kind of a deload or something like that. But
and I mean, not to say that he's not got a program that's going to make him healthier, because any kind of movement is going to be beneficial.
Movement with change.
Yeah.
You can't just constantly just do movement for 12 weeks and expect. Even some of the best DVDs out there, they change the workout every 3 to 4 weeks. So you've got to change it. You can't repeat what you're doing.
I mean, I do got to give the guy some props for making sure that he wasn't doing the exact same cardio every day. He had, he was on the bike, he was running, he's shadow boxing, he's doing different kinds of stuff. So I got to give him props on that. But he definitely needs to hit more muscle groups. He's not doing any leg strength training, which is a big part of any kind of strength training program if you want to get anywhere. Because when you train your legs, that's when you're going to start cueing the body to produce more testosterone, period, because you have those multi-joint exercises that are going to make sure that you're producing the hormones that are those strength hormones.
Free weights are the best by any stretch of the imagination, because it's more natural with the free weight than it is with your cable flies or anything like that. And even the Stairmaster is probably better than the elliptical, or it's actually better than running because it's less pain on your joint, because we're not made for long distance running. Back in the caveman time, he was for sprinting, getting his food and running back to his cave. That's it. That's what we're made for. We're not made for marathons. People do it, but we're not made for that. So you just got to switch it up.
I mean, there's tribes out there that do it and stuff, but in general, that we beat ourselves down with all that level of volume. And with the stuff that I saw in his program, he's probably doing at least an hour a day of cardio, some ab work, and probably less than 10 minutes of the same strength training every day. So what I would recommend is shrink your cardio down a little bit. If you want to do that low intensity cardio, maybe do it twice a week, but start doing some sprints, start running some hills, run some stairs, sprint and then rest, sprint and then rest. For your strength training, you need to start getting under some free weights so that you're building good movement patterns. Because if you're jumping as a professional wrestler, you're jumping off things, you need to be able to land properly, you need to be able to move properly, and if you're not building those proper movement patterns with weights, you're not going to be able to transfer that to the ring. And that's where guys get ACL tears, they turn their ankles because they're used to doing leg press, they're used to doing all this leg extension stuff, and that's not functional movement because you're not going to run into that in the ring.
One quick thing what you said about sprints is go on the internet, go to Google Images, type in marathon runner and sprinter, and look at the two different types of bodies, and you'll see what type do you want. Do you want the marathon or do you want the sprinter? If you want the sprinter, you need to do sprints and you need to do free weights. I mean, that's just plain and simple. That's how it is.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with the extended cardio sessions. Every now and again, I'll go run 4 or 5 miles just because I like to be able to know that I can still do that. It's just something that I like to keep in my training bag. I do all kinds of stuff all over the place, bodyweight exercises. I love those. Free weights, Olympic lifting.
I would say bodyweight training is better than running distance, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends. It depends on what you're going for. I mean,
it depends on what your goals are. That's all it comes down to. And your goals is to get in better shape.
Yeah.
What you're doing is not going to get you there the way you want to get there.
See, if you came to me and said that your goal was to run a marathon, I'd say, yeah, you need to run. But since you're telling me what your goal is to lose weight, gain muscle, which when you say lose weight, I'm pretty sure you don't mean lose weight, you mean lose fat. Because, I mean, at your height and weight, I understand the lose weight issue, but you could still be 5'8" and 250. You'd be massive 5'8" at 250 pounds if you were lean. But you focus on gaining muscle, getting stronger. The rest of it's going to take care of itself as long as you make sure that your food is a big deal. And that's the next thing that I wanted to talk about is that your diet's got to be right. Because if you're exercising but you're eating like crap, you're not going to get anywhere. And Mike is really, really big on diet, making sure that he is constantly keeping all of his food. When I go in when I come train with him, I go in his kitchen, there's supplements all over the table. And he's always telling me, man, I ate this. He's got his stuff on point. He's a little obsessive about it, but sometimes that's what you got to be. You got to be obsessive about it.
And everybody's different. I can eat this as food, and it'll create this for me. You could eat the same food, and it might not create the same thing for you. So it's taken me about 1.5 years, 2 years to figure out what works for me. So you have to you can go by somebody's meal plan, but it can kind of give you a guidance of what you need to do, but you need to vary it just a little bit here and there.
Because sometimes you're going to have issues where you can't process certain foods. Like I can't have dairy. I can't at all. I can't process it. So I have to find other ways to get calcium. I have to find other ways to make sure that I'm getting additional protein. And as long as you're eating clean, and what I mean by eating clean is that you're not eating processed food over and over again.
Except Pop-Tarts.
Yeah. Mike likes to eat Pop-Tarts for his pre-workout or whatever. Then you're going to be in good shape. Make sure that you're getting a lot of fruits and vegetables. Make sure that you're eating lean meats, fish, chicken, pork. That's all cool. If you're going to eat grains, make sure that they're whole grains. Stay away from the white bleach stuff. That's not any good for you. It's going to make your insulin spike and your blood sugar is going to go crazy.
And insulin spike means fat.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
And if you're looking for try to stay away from diet sodas or anything that's a no-calorie drink. You want to look water. Water is your new best friend. You want to be drinking, as far as people say that 8-ounce glasses, that's 64 ounces a day. I would go so far for me to say at least you want to drink about 1 ounce per pound that you weigh. And that is lean mass-wise. So if you weigh 250 pounds, you might want to drink anywhere like a gallon, maybe 1.25 gallons a day. Yeah, so I mean, that's a good place to start.
Because if he drinks 1 gallon a day, he's going to flush out a lot of toxins in his body for the first couple of days.
And if you're drinking sodas or anything like that, you're going to see an immediate drop in weight because people don't realize just how much sugar is in those things and the calories.
Diet.
It's just going to be insane.
Diet soda is one of the biggest. A lot of people think, I can drink as many diet sodas as I want. Yeah, you can't.
I think Mike likes to call that a chemical shitstorm.
It is. It's anything diet, no calorie, sugar-free, that tastes good is a chemical shitstorm.
Yeah. So I mean, there's so many things that we could talk about, but couple of things that I really just want to make sure that you understand. You need to be lifting. You need to go high intensity. So starting 3 days a week, high intensity work. Depending on what your level of fitness is, how you feel at it, just kind of do a day, take a day off, come back, do it again, see how you feel. If you need to go a little easier, that's fine. If you don't know how to lift, I'll be putting up some more videos on lifting form. I do have some on our website at realmmatraining.com about lifting form, but it's mainly from other people, but I'll be putting some up of myself or Mike doing some stuff. If you have any questions, you can email me at realmmatraining@gmail.com, and I'll try to answer whatever you need to answer. If it's a big enough question, I'll try to make another video about it. Any final words? Nope. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, guys. I'm Steven.
Mike.